Hero Devs, this is Ship It Anyway, the podcast that's part game show, part conversation, and predictably unpredictable, just like real-world tech can be. Two guests will compete in a series of games about real tech quirks, fails, and features with hot takes in between. I'm your host, Wendy Hurst. Today we have two guests to compete for the winning title. In one corner, and in no particular order, we have Joelle Sopariwala. She joins us from Orlando, Florida. Besides being a tech sales powerhouse since 2012, she's also been a chambermaid, a craft foods intern, and somehow even a secretary in wealth management, despite spending most of her money on travel and fine dining. When she's not mentoring foster youth, she's racking up contest wins like a game show champion or playing bass drum in a fife. Or what the heck is a fife?
It's like a drum corps.
Okay. Or playing bass drum in a fife and drum corps. If luck is a skill, she's got it maxed out. Welcome, Joelle.
Happy to be here.
Joelle, are you a tea or a coffee person?
Neither. I am naturally caffeinated. True, that's what I say every time because I only drink water and alcohol.
In the other corner, again, not in any particular order, we have Melissa Gonzalez joining us from Utah. Melissa is a community and social media manager at Hero Devs, but started her career picking strawberries and making homemade jam. Melissa, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Wendy.
When you get the mail, do you throw out the junk stuff right away, or do you let it sit for a while?
I throw it away. Throw it away like immediately. I know. I grew up with like a drawer that was just like full all the time, and I'm like, I'm not doing that. So we toss it real quick at my house.
I also grew up with a drawer like that. We're going to jump into our first game today called Patch Me If You Can. Software updates are weird, and so is this game. Each contestant will get 3 chances to guess which of the absurd patch notes is real. For those who don't know, patch notes are comments that go into technical documentation that lists changes, updates, and bug fixes made to an application. Right answers earn 1 point. Joelle, you're up first. Which of the following patch notes is actually real? Is it A, added a feature allowing players to teleport using only their thoughts? B, fixed an issue where players could become permanently stuck in bear traps? Or C, introduced a new ability that lets characters walk through walls at will?
I guess I'm gonna go with, I don't know. I'm torn between the bear traps and the walls, but I think I'm gonna have to go walls.
The answer is B, fixed an issue where players could become permanently stuck in bear traps.
Sure, down with that.
I'm sorry, you got that one wrong. But you get another try. Here we go.
Okay.
Which of the following patch notes is real? A, players can now manually adjust the trajectory of their bullets midair. B, dragons occasionally flying backwards. Or C, added an option to pet dragons, increasing their loyalty.
I guess I'll go with C.
Incorrect. The answer was B, dragons occasionally flying backwards. Not the wonkiest one, but still interesting. That one was found in the Elder Scrolls 5 for Skyrim. Again, I don't expect you to just know these. They're just weird. All right. Melissa, this is your chance. This is your chance to shine. Are you ready?
I don't know. Here we go.
Again, I do not expect you to know any of these answers. It's just for fun. Here we go.
Let's do it.
Which of the following patch notes is real? Is it A, added a no gravity mode where all in-game objects float aimlessly? B, fixed occasional issue where a guest would arrive to the player's wedding dead? Or C, introduced time travel mechanics to allow players to undo their worst decisions?
Let's go with B.
The answer is B! Fix an occasional issue where a guest would arrive to a player's wedding dead. That is in the game The Sims 3.
I love this.
Did you guys ever play The Sims when you were younger?
I love The Sims.
Or now? I mean, it's still around.
Yes, I love The Sims. Like we actually spent the summers. We would spend the summers at the pool. And then, when the pool would have like the 2-hour break, we would go to like my cousin's house and we would just play Sims for like an hour or two and then go back to the pool. So we did that every day. So I played The Sims a lot.
That's a memory and a lifestyle right there.
Yeah. And we had it like my aunt had the computer like in this little like a hutch, and so we only had one desktop, and so we would take turns and a bunch of chairs around the Sims like the computer, and we were just having so much fun. I think we were like in elementary school playing Sims, so
I love that game. It was so fun. My favorite thing was just to build the buildings. And then I would use whatever cheat code that was required in order to like boost my money so that I could buy it for that character and I could just live in the house.
Or Motherload. Those are the cheat codes. All the cheat codes. We're different kinds of people because there are people like you and my sister who like building the houses. I hated that part. I would always pick the pre-constructed house. I just wanted to go straight to controlling people's lives. That was why I was there.
Based on what I know about you, Joelle, that all checks out. Here we go. Which one's real? Is it A, players can now use their voice to command NPCs to fight for them? B, fixed an issue that could cause a teen to be trapped in a child's body while traveling to the future at the exact moment of a birthday? Or C, added an in-game AI that can automatically complete quests for players?
I'm going to go with B again.
The answer is B. Fix an issue that could cause a teen to be trapped in a child's body when traveling to the future at the exact moment of their birthday. I feel like, well, one, let me clarify. That is also Sims 3, but two, like, what would that be like in real life?
I'm trying to like visualize that. Like, what?
What would you call that, like, as a syndrome, if you had to, if it happened in real life?
Maybe just like, maybe we could call it the birthright.
The birthright syndrome.
Birthright syndrome.
Congratulations, you're 13 now, but you still look like a child.
Dang. About like 13 going on 30.
So now I want to talk a little bit more seriously. Patch notes are kind of a way to leave little breadcrumbs about the changes that you make in something. What is a patch note that you remember from your own life?
I think like a little breadcrumb. In Utah, there has been kind of I want to call it like a revolution of like women in tech. And there's an organization called Tech Moms, and their entire focus is to help women re-enter the workforce after taking a break from being a mom or just like any career break. It could be, you're a caregiver. There's so many things that could happen in life in general that, you take a pause. And there's also like the power pause that people are calling it now. This was right after I had my son. I was like 6 weeks postpartum, and I was like, I want to, get into tech. And in my first time as a mom, thinking I'm going to have like so much time and I can do this. And it was so hard because, reality hit me in the face. And I'm like, wow, this is like, I don't have that much time. Tech Moms is a program that you have to go in person to. At the time, you had to go in class and you learned how to code a website. And you basically got introduced to a bunch of tech topics. And I still was able to do it. It was 10 weeks long, thanks to my husband and his support, because it was really hard with, being 6 weeks postpartum and doing that every weekend. But that's kind of what opened up my eyes to the tech world. And after that, I was just like, I really want to do tech to just challenge myself and learn new skills. And then during that time, it was that weird COVID, like post-COVID layoffs. And my company, they had laid off the entire U.S. team. The body shop closed operations in the U.S. And so our U.S. team was laid off. And then I was like, well, this is kind of like the best time to make a pivot and make a change. And then I had an opportunity to work at a local venture capital firm in Utah, which then opened up my eyes even more to the tech world, because this VC firm specifically invests in Utah tech in early stage. And so, yeah, after that, I was like, yeah, I think this is the way that I want to go. So it somehow all worked out. And that's how I heard about Hero Devs and how I ended up here. And I met Frosty and Mitch, and, the team here has been awesome. So it's been a really great pivot and transition into tech. At Tech Moms, there is a portion where other women in tech come and speak to you at the class. And, they tell you about their experience. There was just so many times that all of these women were like, tech is for women. It's for moms. Like, it provides flexibility. there's so many opportunities for growth and earning potential. It's really the best if you have the skills to find your way into it. It can really support your lifestyle. I would definitely want to say like shout out to those women presenting and sharing their stories, because that's what really kind of helped me into making the leap into tech.
Over to you, Joelle. What would you say is a patch note from your life that guided you to tech?
Yeah, I mean, I wish I had some super cool answer like Melissa, where I pursued tech purposefully, but that's not how I came to be into tech. Growing up in college, I did a bunch of different internships in lots of different industries. And through those, I found out that I didn't care for any of them. And I had originally gone to a university that specialized in business because I wanted to get into advertising. I basically wanted to be like Mad Men and make commercials and do that kind of marketing campaign and all of that. And that's what I really had wanted to do. That's right when streaming and everything was becoming big, and suddenly people weren't really watching commercials as much, and people were switching from cable, and a lot of different things were happening. Since I had always done sales from when I had first sold Girl Scout cookies as a little girl, and just every school fundraiser we had, I was always top seller. I really enjoyed that. And so I started to apply to jobs that had sales roles. And so when I was a senior in college, I applied to this company called EMC. They're a storage company for companies to be able to store data and backup data. I've switched around a lot. I started in hardware. I've done resellers. I've worked, for services. I sold cybersecurity services to casinos. That was pretty cool. And then I ended up in software, and I like software a lot. And then I found startups, and I've stuck with startups too. So it's not something I necessarily pursued, but I guess it's because of a change in tech and the way that, we as a society were consuming entertainment that I ended up in tech.
What's the patch note that you feel changed your trajectory to where you are today?
I think my trajectory changed because technology changed the way that people consumed entertainment. And so when I thought I was going to have a career focused on making commercials and people stopped caring about and watching commercials, then I decided to focus on something I knew that I had a skill in, sales, and that's how I ended up in tech.
Talking about Hero Devs brings us to a little word from our sponsor. Over to there.
This episode was brought to you by Hero Devs. It takes longer to migrate than it takes for open source software to reach end of life. Hero Devs to the rescue. Our never-ending support keeps deprecated open source software secure and compliant with SOC 2, FedRAMP, PCI, and HIPAA. Join the over 800 clients who trust Hero Devs to keep their legacy code running smoothly long after official support ends. Now, end of life doesn't have to mean end of the road. Visit herodevs.com to learn more.
And back over to me. Welcome back to our show, Ship It Anyway. We're ready for our next game called Feature Creep. Maybe you've never coded an application, but you've definitely used one before. Take a perfectly good, simple product and ruin it with too many features. The goal of this game is to make a feature as ridiculously over-engineered as possible. I will present a single object, and each contestant will add 3 seemingly useless features. The winner earns 1 point and will be selected based on creativity. Melissa, you were the winner of our last game, which means you get to go first. Are you ready for the object?
Okay, here we go.
I did not bring with me, but I kind of wish that I did.
Maybe I'll have it.
Today's object is a toaster.
Useless features.
Yes, you get to add 3 useless features. Hey, sometimes something that seems useless actually is kind of helpful.
Like a switchy side handle on the
side handle on the front, back, the side.
The side. Yeah.
Okay.
On one of the flat sides.
What does it do?
Nothing.
It's just a handle. It's just a handle.
Yeah.
Perfect. That's one.
If that's happened to you before, where you almost accidentally let go of the toaster when you're trying to put it away? It happens to me. I make toast every morning for my son, so I very quickly do things. Maybe that would help me not drop it.
That's a good idea. I mean, I typically just leave my toaster on the counter, but maybe that's just
me. I know. I have this thing where my counters have to be there's nothing on them, so I always put it away. Just my clean.
Okay, so no junk drawer, no toaster. Got it. Handle. That's number one. What's another thing?
Maybe freezing your toast. Instead of
Okay.
heating it up, you're freezing it. You're freezing your bread.
Freezer feature. Number 3.
Let's see. Ooh, a sprinkle feature.
Sprinkle feature.
Yeah, like a cinnamon sugar sprinkle feature. Or like
Kind
you
of
get like
fun.
different
sounds
like
useful.
sprinkles. It's for children, how to make it and sprinkle
One-stop
their
shop.
toast with some sprinkle.
I like eating toast like that. Why is it for children?
I'm just letting you know what my toddler likes. Anything with sprinkles, he'll eat. So I'm like, toast, a little sugar, a little cinnamon. Quicker than French toast on the stove.
That's true. Though I feel like it's not necessarily the sprinkles, it's more the sugar. But I could be wrong. Right. Joelle, the object is a toaster. 3 seemingly useless features.
Well, my toaster is going to glow in the dark because I feel like that's really important when you're making toast, so you can see with the lights off.
Toasting in the dark. Got it. Number 2.
The dark. Yeah, I think that's important. I think another feature that my toaster would have, it would obviously have to come in a neon green because I think it will just make the toast taste better somehow. And everyone will want that in their household. And
Okay.
a third feature that my toaster would have is a really, really short cord so that you have to have it right next to the little outlet. That way you never lose your toaster.
Do you... Oh, hold on. Let me back up. Do you typically lose your toaster when it's plugged in?
Well, some people like to conserve energy, Wendy, so they don't always have their toasters plugged in.
Okay, so you unplug your toaster when you're not using it. Melissa just puts it away. I'm the dirty one over here, and I just leave it alone.
It's for you, Wendy.
Wait, I have another feature that I thought of now. I could get like a toaster cover that makes it invisible on the counter.
An invisible, like the cloak of invisibility from Harry Potter, but it's for your toast. That is a good bonus feature, but it doesn't count because you already gave 3.
Yeah,
And I love that idea. Unfortunately, it makes it harder to find.
Right.
Like, how would you ever know that your toaster was on your counter or put away? You wouldn't know.
Feeling around.
That's what the handle's for. Okay, got it. All right, so we got Battle of the Toasters. Melissa's has got a handle. It freezes stuff. You can add sprinkles, and then on the side, like as a bonus feature, she wants to be able to make it invisible, which makes it really hard to find. And then over here we have Joelle. Hers glows in the dark because she doesn't want to lose it. It has to be neon green for the flavor. I don't know what the flavor of neon green is, but I kind of want to try it. And a short cord also so you don't lose it. And I will say, as someone who has ADHD, I also have a fear of losing objects. So for that reason alone, I'm going to give out Joelle's the winner.
Nailed it. Toasters.
I'll send you that toaster, Wendy, one day.
I want to see it. I'm going to try it. And I'll be your first reviewer. What is the worst feature in real life you've ever seen added to a product? Any product?
I will say like a pet peeve of mine of a feature of a product. When you have an eyeshadow palette that doesn't have a mirror, it's like, I'm trying to do this and there's no mirror. It's so annoying.
That one kind of reminded me of now when you buy phones, how they don't give you the charger brick. You have to just go
The
and get
fob
one
that it plugs into.
I'm like, oh, thanks. How thoughtful.
Right. You're like, I just paid probably like $1,000 for this and you can't even give me that.
Yeah.
All right, that brings us to our final game. Are you ready?
Let's do it.
This is a game of limericks. Limericks are ones where are like little rhymes where the last word is blank and you just have to say the word that fits there. Each one of you gets 2 limericks to respond to. Today's topic is women's history. And Joelle, since you were the winner of the last one, you get to go first. Are you ready? Here we go. She fought for a right long denied, refused to step meekly aside. Through struggle and might, she won us that right, and now we can all vote with great pride. This one's referring to Susan B. Anthony and other suffragists who fought tirelessly for women's right to vote in the United States, which was granted in 1920 with the 19th Amendment. All right, here we go. Number 2. She piloted planes in the sky, a fearless young girl aiming high. She flew out of sight, then vanished one night. A mystery still makes people cry. That's the answer. Amelia Earhart was the first woman to fly solo across the Atlantic. In 1937, she disappeared while attempting a flight around the world, sparking decades of theories and searches. All right, that's 2 for 2. Lissa, are you ready?
I think so.
Her words lit a powerful flame. She shattered old rules of the game. With passion, she wrote on rights and the vote, and history still knows her.
Do we get a hint?
Yes, it rhymes with flame and game. Those are your hints. History still knows her. Name, game,
Flame, game, name.
Wow. I'm not going to give it to you, but I like that you answered the question. That's okay. It's tricky. This one is about Mary Wollstonecraft and Betty Friedan. I really hope I'm saying their name correctly. They were among women whose writings challenged gender norms. Mary Wollstonecraft's A Vindication of the Rights of Women in 1792 was a feminist milestone, while Friedan's The Feminine Mystique in 1963 ignited second wave feminism. All right, here we go. Number 4. She painted her pain and her grace with flowers, self-portraits, and space. Her brush told the tale, both haunting and frail. Her art left a lasting blank.
Embrace.
Yes, technically the word is trace, but I like that you said embrace because it rhymed and it still makes some sense. So I'm going to give it to you.
Yeah.
This one's about Frida Kahlo. She was a Mexican artist known for her deeply personal and surreal self-portraits, which often depicted her physical and emotional pain, her identity, and her political beliefs. Did you guys know that she had a prosthetic leg?
Yeah.
No, I didn't know that.
Melissa answered 1.5 of the limericks correctly. Joelle answered 2 of them. So Joelle's total is 3, and Melissa just barely inching in the lead with 3.5 points. Yay, Melissa! Congratulations! You're the winner! Thanks for sharing. And thank you for listening to our episode of Ship It Anyway. We hope you'll see you in the next one.
Thanks,
Bye.
Wendy. Bye, everyone.